What's going on? It's your boy Dalton from the Petrol List, and remember I said I was gonna I was gonna make a video every single day until we get back to racing season in 2024. Well, guess what? This is one of those videos, and today I actually want to talk about Daniel Ricciardo. You see, whether you're a racing fan or a racing team, you just can't seem to get enough of Daniel Ricciardo. You want him on the grid. You want him in a race car. You want him to be in your social media. You don't want him to leave the sport. Is it because he's the amiable race car driver from down under? Is it the permagrin that he wears? Although it's neither that permanent nor as vibrant these days. Is it that he goes by the nickname the Honey Badger? Or is it that he was once a stupendous racing driver with nothing but charisma and future and potential before him, and now everybody's just waiting for it to come back? I think it's the latter. So in 2024, he is 13th in the Drivers' Championship. That is right behind his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, who is in 12th. So not really, incredibly that impressive. But that doesn't really tell the whole story. So Daniel Ricciardo debuted in Formula One back in 2011. Let's fast forward and talk about when he got to Red Bull proper. He was always a part of the Red Bull family. He started 2011 with Scuderia Toro Rosso, but in 2014 he was promoted to Red Bull driver, and this is after Mark Webber left. Famously, Sebastian Vettel versus Mark Webber, multi-21 Seb, multi-21. Seb didn't listen because Seb was a young, hungry, fast racing driver, and this is who Daniel Ricciardo got paired with. He got paired with the future four-time world drivers champion. And then he got paired with Max Verstappen. And then he went to Renault for a while, where he didn't do that much. Matter of fact, he didn't get a single podium or a single win there. And then he went to AlphaTauri as a replacement for Nick DeVries, broke his hand, and then is now at VCarb and waiting to take a seat back from Sebastian Vettel. But let's talk about some of the accomplishments. So in his time with Red Bull / a little bit of McLaren, he was an 8-time Grand Prix winner. 8 times. That doesn't sound like a lot, when we're talking about folks like Max Verstappen with his 65, 66 wins or whatever. Lewis Hamilton with 105. 8 doesn't sound like very much, but when you put it into perspective, Carlos Sainz, he has 3 wins. Daniel Ricciardo has 8. Nico Hülkenberg, 0 wins, 0 podiums, and he's still got a seat. So let's break this down even further. Daniel Ricciardo has 254 starts in Formula One. And if he won 8 of those, that means he has a .031 winning percentage, which for Formula One is actually still quite high. Carlos Sainz, who is greatly considered one of the premier racing drivers in Formula One, he's only got 3. And he had 199 career starts. So 3 out of 199, that equals .015. So guess what? Even with his slumps and his bad luck, Daniel Ricciardo is still twice as successful per start as Carlos Sainz, and yet he is battling for a seat for 2025. What else has Daniel Ricciardo done? He was awarded the Lorenzo Bandini Award for his efforts during the 2013 season. It is a commendable performance in motorsport. Sounds a little bit lackluster, but no doubt in Formula One driver world, this is a prestigious award. So it's not based on the race results, but how success was achieved. And again, I said highly prestigious. How much so? The other recipients of the award: Jenson Button, Michael Schumacher, Kimi Räikkönen, Fernando Alonso, Lewis Hamilton, and yes, Max Verstappen. So you see, he was in really, really good company when he was coming up through Formula One. And like I said, when he joined Renault, he had 0 wins. That was for a good couple of years. 0 wins, 0 podiums. And he probably went to Renault after, at 2019 because he was tired of racing against Max Verstappen. I would be. He's had nothing but champions driving against him. Talk about a rough time in Formula One. One of the kickers that's gotta hurt. Helmut Marko recently said that Daniel Ricciardo didn't meet the criteria to be a Red Bull racing driver. What a slap in the face, especially considering that Sergio Checo Perez is not fitting the criteria to be driving a school bus. I mean, he keeps crashing into people. So what does that mean? Well, we know that Yuki Tsunoda has the Honda connection. Honda is famous for wanting Japanese drivers in the cars that house their power units, their powertrains. What does that mean for Aston Martin? Because I don't know if the Canadian Lance Stroll is going anywhere, and I think Fernando Alonso is supposed to be set there. And even if Max Verstappen goes over there, not Japanese. And then when it comes to Checo Perez, he's got the money connection. He's got the connection to the entirety of Central and South America because he's the only one. What is there, something like 30 Australians in Formula One? So in the grand scheme of things, nationality-wise, Daniel Ricciardo is not that special. So he's got to do it on merit. Merit alone. What do you think? Do you think he deserves a seat for next year? I do. I would like to see him keep going in the sport. But we're really not going to know probably until after the Mexican GP, Daniel Ricciardo. The name that you need to understand. All right, that was the video. This has been The Petrolist. I have been Dalton, and you have been amazing.